Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. Your KMA crew, the Italian Scallion, Paul DeGracco, Alex Tavella, a.k.a. The Goat, and always telling it like it is, Honest Abe.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar, yeah.
Good morning. to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the Leaf. This is Honest Abe, and we are broadcasting from sunny South Florida live this morning, episode number 491. Holy cow, 491. Well, as always, I'm here with my trusted sidekicks, the man they call the GOAT, Alex Tavella, and the man who is always teaser and rumor-free, William the Scoop Cooper. Dude, we got 9 episodes before 500.
I know.
I had to make a judgment call too for last week because even though technically it was a new fresh episode, we weren't actually on, so I didn't count it.
Good, that bought us a week.
Bought us a week.
Yeah.
Wow, we gotta start working on it like this week.
Yeah.
500.
Oh yeah.
Big milestone.
Gotta do
Big
something.
Oh man, that's like 2 months, 2.5 months,
Right.
3 months.
Right, probably mid-June.
Wow. All right, well, we gotta figure it out because June. Let's see, am I doing traveling in June? Yeah, I am gonna do a little traveling in June, so I gotta figure it out. Kids, summer break. We're gonna get out of the way early because we got PCA in the
I was
middle.
gonna say because you got PCA in July.
Yeah. That's why we're gonna go
Who
out.
do we have for 400? We had JD, right?
Yeah,
Jonathan Drew was 400 episode, right?
I don't know. They're blurred in my head.
yeah. Jonathan
Yes.
was 400, and then
Was that when we were at JC Newman?
No, JC Newman was what 10th anniversary.
Oh, 10th anniversary. Okay.
Jonathan Drew was 400th episode.
yeah,
300, I think, was in Alpharetta, Georgia.
yes,
200 was at Borschowitz's place,
Mhm.
and 100 was here.
Brian Lewis addressing me about your club in the middle of a KMA broadcast.
The boundaries, he has no limits, bro.
We'll
No
let you
limits.
know, bro.
He was messaging me on vacation about stuff, and I'm like, okay, dude, I'll see you when I get back.
He asked me Thursday. I said, text me in the morning when I'm at work, and he texted me at like 6 p.m.
I know.
Anyway.
They make medication for that.
yes.
Yes.
They make
Yes.
medication. We love you, Brian, but yeah, they make medication. Wow. All right, man. I literally just landed late last night.
And we had a late night.
And we had a late night, kicking off a great First Friday event in our West Palm store, bringing it back to life. It was good to see everybody dressed up. I had to buy white clothes. Even Alex was in white.
White shirt.
It was white.
It was white.
I didn't expect you to actually have white, but you were white. You were white.
You're right, Sean. You're right. 6 p.m. is probably morning for Brian Lewis. You're absolutely right. I should have realized that.
Cooper,
Yes, sir.
is that a blue Phillies hat, or
Yeah,
is that,
it is a
oh,
blue Phillies hat, gray and blue.
Is that a
Yeah.
new trend?
Bear bought me this hat actually, and a lot of these, like lately, these caps are like taking on a life of their own, where they're making all these variations of different colors of caps right now. He bought me this last year or as a Father's Day gift. And I like the hat. I'm normally a standard baseball cap guy with the colors, but this one's pretty cool.
It
It
is
matches
nice.
the shirt too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Philly shit the bed opening day, but that's okay.
Oh man, it don't even get me. I don't even. I said that Soto guy was gonna be a disaster too, and everyone told me I was wrong. And
I want to be that guy and blame the pitch clock adjustment, but I mean,
You can't
Nine
blow
runs in
5-0
an
lead.
inning. No,
Yeah,
no.
and what was worse is that game was in Texas, in Bears' hometown as well. So, even though he's a Red Sox fan, so
Coming off their last devastating loss in Texas.
yep, I know
In the World
exactly.
Series.
It's just Texas hasn't been kind to us.
No.
So
I was gonna say, if any of our fans are noticing, we're a frame short today.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
We are framed short, and it's so because I actually put in the show outline. I had to adjust it because it literally was Paul made it 2 episodes in a row, and sure enough, Paul.
Well,
did not.
it's funny because we have a KMA group chat for all of us.
right.
And what he texted yesterday morning, 11 a.m. He goes, "Do we have a show this week?"
Yeah.
And my response was literally, "Well, we do."
Well,
And
yeah,
then-
it was
And then wait, he comes back. What time was it?
9:56.
At 9:56 p.m. with some about tomorrow. My wife informs me that I volunteered to work some spring fair 3 months ago. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And you wonder why we bust this guy's balls.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know what to say.
So yes, no Paul this morning. Not that that's out of the ordinary. I think he's done one show in the last 3
I think-
months.
It's funny because I just had Duffy. If any of you watched the virtual KMA and caught any of the breaks were kind of funny this year.
Yeah.
We had our good friend Duffy out of Chicago, who's kind of the voice of the Great Smoke and
Love
KMA.
that guy's voice.
Oh, he's great. And
Yeah, that
KMA
deep
Talk
voice.
Radio.
Yeah.
So we had him redo it because we want to redo our intro. It's been a while now, and we got new guests. And I'm almost tempted to remail them and just put and special guests this week, Paul DeGracco.
Paul, literally.
I really want to.
Just-
I want to send him to add one more line, so that should be the entry to our show. I'm not even sure Paul qualifies to be a regular host.
He
anymore.
is. He's like a special guest,
Yeah.
special cameo appearance.
Right? We need to start calling him a contributor. He's a contributor.
Yeah. Here's why I think he deserves to be busted on this. If you volunteered for this, if you volunteered for this on a Saturday morning, wouldn't you like inform us that, hey, just I have these things coming? That makes no sense. You volunteered it right up against KMA.
Well, he claims that his wife volunteered him. He called it volunforced.
Right.
So he threw her under the bus.
Of course.
So he's throwing her under the bus on top of him.
And she just popped it on him at 10 o'clock last night. I find
No,
that
she
hard
would
to
have told.
believe.
Are you kidding me? That girl is so on the ball. I'm going to message her. I'm going to screenshot his bullshit excuse and send it to her.
Right. By the way, if you didn't get a chance to hear some of those clips, I actually posted like a 6-minute short video. It's on the Smokin' Facebook page. Some of the great moments between Paul and Kim and most of Duffy's takes during the commercial break are on there. And they are a riot, and he's a riot.
They did a great job. You were talking about this, Alex, on our show on Tuesday. The chemistry that was had between the Michael, Kim, and Paul. I mean, was really good.
No, man, it really was.
They're awesome.
It really was. The way they are, hate to give Paul any credit on this show because he sucks at this show, but he does well at the Great Smoke.
Really
the way they're
good.
able to just throw it back and forth between each other is really well done.
And then you mentioned Duffy. I mean, he's got that voice for radio.
He was the voice of Cubs for many years. He does this for a living.
Yeah, you could tell.
I mean, he worked with WGN. Yeah, so
okay. I mean, that's big time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this guy's not. We're very lucky to have been introduced to him and be able to work with this guy over the years. He's, in fact, it was one of the very few things good I got out of John Barron. Anybody who's been following KMA for a long time, one of our prior producers, John Barron, who we used to have a segment called "Punish the Producer," where this guy would just volunteer to take some crazy abuse, live on the air. Maybe I should mute my phone. But
is that the same guy that was taking body shots from the Hammer?
Yeah, and eating cockroaches and letting them dominatrix paddle him live with his pants down. Oh yeah, he was nuts.
I mean, we still have punished the producer, but it's just verbal now.
Verbal punishment, true.
If he's even actually, I don't know what he produces at this point besides excuses. But
wow.
I mean, what does he do? What does he produce?
Disney content.
Right.
Probably. But yeah, that's how we met Chris Duffy, and he's literally been great, man. We just anytime we need him, we'll message him a list of stuff. He'll go in the studio and knock it all out. So he's awesome. So we'll be working on a new intro for KMA. I wonder if we should showcase it for episode 500. Should I just save it? I should just save it. Showcase it episode 500. Might take us a while to get it together. I'm still finding my feet, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, literally. Our travel day started. By the way, if you've never been to Sedona, it was our first time went to Sedona, Arizona, which, by the way, was shockingly fucking cold.
Oh, it's cold up there.
I was just gonna say you caught snow at in the end of March.
Okay, it was freezing all week, by the way,
in Arizona.
Yeah, in the desert.
Yep, it's cold up in that area. That's like Flagstaff area and all that.
Yeah, we weren't really. I mean, we knew they said it would be cool, but we weren't expecting like it was for us. It was like freezing. I mean, literally freezing. The day before we left, there was snowflakes falling from the sky. So look at Tom. Why? Yeah, bro, it was cold. We're Floridians now. It's cold. So, beautiful place. I mean, really. I mean, it's just unreal. It's surreal. I actually had to Google how these things happen. How the shift in the Rocky Mountains raised this, and all this area used to be below sea. That's how it formed. And the shells from the shellfish is what caused the iron oxide formations, give it the red rock appearance. But I don't know. I mean, when I first moved to Florida, the beach was beautiful. I used to get caught by a bridge. I don't know if it was the same way for you, Alex. I thought it was such a cool thing to watch the bridges raise. I'd get out of my car, maybe walk to the edge, look at the boats go through. Now I curse every time I get caught by a bridge. If I get caught by a bridge,
Of course.
yeah, but like these people wake up, and it's their view. I mean, it's all over. I mean, it's like somebody painted the background. I mean, it is unrealistic. It is breathtaking every day. So it was a great trip. I know Coop, you mentioned you'd want to move there. No way you could live there.
We talked about retiring more to the Flagstaff area.
Yeah. I mean, Sedona is great, but it's like you kind of living in the 70s.
Yeah,
People there are eccentric and nice. Nothing wrong with it, but like just be prepared because like every restaurant specializes in vegan and gluten free and. I mean, it's like a thing down there. You couldn't find regular cream to put in coffee almost anywhere. It was like insane. It was like an almond milk. Yeah, it's different life down there, but it was a great trip. And then our trip started with a 2.5 hour ride at 4:30 in the morning. And let me tell you something. That ride from Sedona to Phoenix to the airport at night, well, dark in the morning, it's like the Grand Prix. I mean, you don't go straight for more than a half a mile for 2 hours. And it's literally.
Oh, you go through the high mountains up there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you can't even you're driving under stress for an hour and a half, 90 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, because everything is like a huge turn back and forth, back and forth. So we started 4:30 in the morning. We got
in the pitch black, no less.
Pitch black, which is even worse. I mean, literally, you cannot see more than 10 feet. There's no moonlight. There was nothing. And we got to the airport and then we were on planes. We landed, about 7 o'clock, 7:30 last night. Ended up getting a quick bite. Went to West Palm Beach, had a nice night and came home. So yesterday was like a full day of being on the road, basically. But I missed a good week, I heard. A lot of stuff being talked this week, I guess, while I was gone.
A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
I saw the episode about the Great Smoke. Very nice coverage. Thank you guys. It was very cool.
Oh, no,
I tried to watch a couple episodes while I was gone. I didn't have time. We really. I mean, I was trying. Not to get
you're on vacation. You're on vacation.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
I haven't watched. What, 3 hours back.
We're 3 hours behind.
Yeah. So really... Coop and I are on. If we're on 9, 10 o'clock when I'm on Coop show, it's like dinner time where you're at.
Yeah,
literally.
I'll be watching the sunset out there instead.
And I haven't had a chance to watch the Digital Great Smoke yet. Definitely want to do that this weekend if I can. Just chill back and just.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I think you'll be really pleased with it.
Watch it as a spectator. They messed up the ending again, which was really disappointing. It's really
okay.
We fixed it, but I mean, there's a lot of work that gets put into this timeline for the virtual production. I mean, a lot because you gotta remember, man, these guys show up and set up the day before the broadcast. There's no dress rehearsal. This is done live. So. Our good friend John Reamer, we had I bet you a lot of people don't even know this, but we had a very famous mid-credit scene in the digital experience with Alex. And it was funny because Alex saw it. He goes, dude, I forgot I even did that when we were talking about it. Right. But we had a mid-credit scene. And last year we didn't have enough time. It was kind of, we were just trying to figure out how to do virtual and live at the same time. But we wanted to bring it back. So our good friend John Reamer and a great crew of about 15 people did a nice post-credit scene for us. And I had it all worked out how it was going to end. And I guess after 5 hours of broadcast, the liquor was right behind them. They probably started drinking.
They get a little celebratory.
Yeah. And they dropped the whole post-credit scene. So I think we added it up and we put it up there. So a big thanks to John and those guys who put that together. And I'll be sending everybody up there something nice as a thank you for that. So I appreciate it. It's very cool.
Yeah. You can catch that. That was the way I actually made sure we played that at the end of the episode of KMA last week. So, those guys did that for us, and make sure it gets out there. Even though Showtech dropped the ball on that one, but that's okay. They were celebrating. They had a long day. We get it. We'll yell at them next year.
Let's see here.
What do you got?
I was trying to actually reach out to Michael Herklotz to see if he could jump on an impromptu today.
Oh.
But he just texted me back. He's got some company coming over.
So, all right. I mean, I guess we might as well. Are we there? Are we there yet? Yeah, we're there, right? I guess we might as well get into it. Coop, why don't you lead this one off? Because I think you were one of the first to break this story.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff going on with the PCA. We'll hit the big one, elephant in the room. I think there were three big stories out of the PCA in the last week. This happened probably the end of last week, where it was announced that for the 2024 PCA trade show, it is moving to the weekend of March 22nd, 2024. It's also moving out of the Venetian Expo Center into the Las Vegas Convention Center, which last held the trade show about 5 years earlier. So, no bigger drama, no bigger soap opera than where and when the PCA trade show is, and certainly the drama hit the scene. There are a lot of different opinions on it. We can get into it. I think a lot of people know my opinion is on this. But let's get into it.
All right, Abe.
Yeah, shoot. I'll be the spectator for this one.
Well, so we had two different scales of the spectrum on this March news. According to Michael Herklotz, it is
Epic.
Epic. This was an epic announcement.
Right.
And in your opinion, your quotable was,
who cares?
I have to share a funny story because it was probably one of the most humorous moments for me this week. Is Garrett messages me. He doesn't even realize I'm on vacation, I think, and he says, "Look, I'm doing an impromptu broadcast of talking about the PCA date change. Are there any comments you'd like to make? Your opinions on the matter?" And I literally text him 2 words: "Who cares?" And he replies to me immediately, "Dude, you're a predominant person in our cigar industry. A lot of people care about your opinion." And I replied to him back. I said, "No, dude, that was my opinion. Who cares?" And we were laughing. He ended up calling me, and we were talking about it. It's one of those things. I mean, here's a text I got from Michael. Because he had company, couldn't come on, but his position is the move reflects the results of the survey that was sent out to retailers and vendors. It was a landslide that members want a trade show in late Q1 and would sacrifice location for the timing. Landslide of vote by members.
Partially correct. See, there were 2 surveys, okay? The survey that Michael's referring to, I didn't see, but from what I understand, it was overwhelmingly in favor. However, there was a survey done after the trade show. It was published in the PCA magazine, and it was for the attendees of the trade show who said they were happy with the location and the time of the trade show. So there were two surveys done with that.
So once again, that's back to my statement. Who cares?
But okay,
but that's the thing about the surveys, because I was on the board when these surveys get sent out.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, the surveys half the time are I didn't see them, but I'm just telling you from experience. They're weighted to always kind of almost make a certain thing. But even regardless, I'll just tell you straight out about surveys is we've surveyed people to death, and then you change something and you still get the same amount of complaints.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you the reliability and dependability of whatever survey you're going to get, especially for whatever reason, our trade. It's like you're making half the people happy all the time, no matter what.
See, Jay Davis was on the show with Garrett and I was on that show with Garrett. And Jay Davis indicated the problem was with the Venetian, and the PCA was having a lot of trouble working with the Venetian, which they were busy. And that I can understand more.
Which I can believe, yes.
Yeah, I can believe that. So I think that combined with, yes, there is a faction out there that wanted that trade show out of July. And we can get into the reasons why. I think some of the reasons I hear aren't exactly I buy. But I can understand there's people who did not want that trade show in July. And that's what preempted this move here.
So here's my stance on this, really. Okay. The trade show's argument, at the end of the day, do you believe this is going to create any more attendance, Coop?
No,
I don't.
Okay. It's not.
No.
So I don't believe it will either. If you're a buyer and you're a businessman and you're in this industry, you're going to the trade show if it's in December. I mean, that's just the way it's going to work. There's not one month that's more or less convenient for me. There's not one month that's better than another. I'm going to go and I'm going to do my business.
I've heard this thing about 4th of July, and we can get into the validity of that 4th of July argument, right? But all right, let's say the 4th of July was an issue. You basically traded in my area 4th of July for March Madness weekend, which are,
Right.
I would say, 2 equally busy weekends. So you moved it to another busy weekend. And here's the thing, Abe. I can't buy this argument of I can't leave my store in July. I just can't buy that argument. I mean, it doesn't it makes sense to me because if you can't leave your store in July, you can't leave at any time.
I've been going to the trade show.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, I had a hiatus there, but wasn't in the early years. I went every year in the early years. I've been going to the trade show since I've only had one employee. When we only had one employee, when the whole smoking organization was me, one other guy, and one employee. All right. This is the problem. And this is why I say, who cares? Because I don't believe. Listen, you want to move the date, move the date. My point is, this is not a story. The date changed. I don't think it's to accomplish anything. It's better negotiating, or you get a better deal, or, and they save money and hopefully use that money to somehow enhance the show and make it a more enjoyable, entertaining time for me. Great if it's a business decision. But to think on any level this is a benefit or caters, because here's what they're doing. They're catering to maybe a handful of people. So which handful of people do you want to cater to?
Right.
Because the average retailer, because this is the mentality of some of the retailers, most is change shit to make my life easier. Right? I can't buy this at this point. Dude, I bought whenever I could buy. I stuffed stuff in bathrooms when I didn't have room if I got a deal on something. Not let me figure out how to work in the landscape that's ahead of me to optimize running my business. Please change stuff to make my life easier. And which handful do you want to cater to this month, next year? You can't cater to everybody. So you just need to do the best decisions on what it is for your organization. And people will either survive and figure out how to work in that landscape, or they'll cry and they'll whine, which most people are good at. And this is why my opinion is, who cares? For me, this is not a story. This is not a story. The upside for me on a personal level, I mean, everybody has their own personal level, but it doesn't affect anything, is I don't have to leave my kids now in summer. I can spend more time with them and, leave while they're in school. Great. That's the upside for me. That's what I get out of it.
There were some interesting announcements, though, Abe, about the first day of the trade show itself that kind of coincided with this. And in particular, they're making some changes to, that first day, it's like a lot of the seminars and stuff like that, point of sale seminars, legislation seminars. They have made some changes this week to that day one. And they set a new agenda up for it. And I kind of think, Abe, a lot of this may have been inspired a little by you with these changes. So, first of all, they're going to be doing, the folks who do hand roll, they're going to be unveiling a new docuseries that you're going to get to see. They're going to have 2 blending seminars, one from Toscano and one what they're calling a triple threat seminar, and it's going to feature Ernesto Perez Carrillo, Christian Aroa, and Nestor Plasencia Jr. And then they're moving what was the breakfast and the keynote speaker, they're moving that up into Thursday. So they're going to have the annual meeting, which they do the roll call and they announce, I guess, who's going to be on the board. And then they're going to have Oz Perlman, who's a mentalist and magician, as the keynote speaker, who I think is a pretty decent entertainer. So I think they've done some things to make that first day a little more fun than like sitting through a point of sale seminar is what I'm saying.
This is the things I'm talking about. This is what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if changing the date was a business decision, Alex, changing a business decision, great, kudos. I just don't think it's a story. I don't think it's anything epic. Sorry, Michael. I don't think it's anything exciting. I just think it's a date change. That's all it is. And business goes on. And if you run your company, because your advantage by this date change, if you're a retailer and you're listening out to me, I know Jay's on. I actually asked Jay to hop on as a member of the current board. He's not feeling well, so I hope you feel better, my friend. But if it's a benefit to you, I guarantee you it's a disadvantage or a problem for somebody else.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was just going to address, of course, because you can't go a KMA show without addressing Alan Rubin once. But the date isn't what's monotonous about the trade show.
I know.
It's the trade show itself. The date is probably the most inconveniencing thing. People run businesses. You run businesses on a schedule. So, what do you want? Just like spontaneous dates of when the PCA is going to be every year? That's not the monotonous part of the trade show. It's what goes on when you're there.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's exactly what's
my argument too for moving it up was I didn't think it was in the best interest of the industry to add another event into the first quarter. And there's a lot of events that go on in the first quarter.
Once again, that's a personal problem for you.
As
a guy in the media.
It's a guy in the media. It's a media problem. It's not a problem for everybody. But some of the manufacturers, it is more work on them at one part of the year.
Well, according to Michael Herklotz, this was a landslide vote by the industry manufacturers and retailers.
Go figure. Here's the thing. I'll tell Michael, when these other things get less coverage, and not just by online media, but by print media, and we all know who we're talking about. When there's less coverage, you guys are going to be scratching your head saying, "Why aren't we getting attention anymore?"
Coop, half the people in our industry don't even know what coverage is.
True. You're 100% right.
But this is what I'm saying at the end of the day. I mean, and here's why we should care. I need to read this. We now have the opportunity to do outside things during the trade show. This may actually start to help with releases being shown X year. Actually released X year, and it helps a small fraction of people who might not have been able to come before.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't understand that, Mitchell.
Oh. I don't either.
Yeah.
I heard this.
Yeah. Do outside things. I don't. Does he mean like because of the weather?
Mitchell, here's the problem, right?
Is that the weather he's talking about?
As far as releases go, it is still going to be a non-factor because all that's going to happen now, right? Because what happens now? They get you get a release announced or orders in the PCA trade show in July, and we get them in December, maybe 9 months later. So now it's just going to be the same thing. They're going to release stuff in March. I'm going to tell you, and it's going to get all the media coverage in March, and then you're not going to see it until 6, 7, 8, 9 months later.
It's going to be worse. Do you want to know why? In my opinion, because half these companies barely can get it done by middle of the year. Right. And now coming off of being closed for 2 to 4 weeks.
Right. And I think Ben Lee mentioned that on your show.
Now being closed and have to come out because, I guarantee you they kind of really start working on these things after the break for the most part, the home stretch. I'm sure in concept they probably thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think people don't realize, you get into Christmas time in Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, it's
shut down.
There's nothing
going on. Mm-hmm. And then
for like 2 weeks.
Mitch. Once again, in what you're saying, even though I might not understand some of it, is look, whatever solves your problem creates 3 other problems. This is the gist of this. When you're dealing with an association of a few thousand people, you're not solving anybody's problems at the end of the day. You're solving somebody's problems but causing problems for other people. And you're solving their problems but causing problems for these people. And then you have those people, it just doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is at the end of the day, I don't believe this matters. I don't believe this changes anything. I don't think it's going to increase attendance. I think the focus should be on making an overall better experience. Okay. And here's what it comes down to. You want to increase trade show attendance? Factor number 1. Make it, and you need to figure out, did I scare you, Alex? You shook your head. Make it 100% where, as a retailer, you can come there and save money. Now, I know there's always deals and stuff there, but work with your manufacturer vendors and find a way to make it so that going there is a benefit to your buying power, which will ultimately increase the retailer's bottom line, that hopefully he will reinvest in his business and help his business grow. Make that the most prevalent thing. Once you've mastered that, find a way to give them the best experience and time while they're there possible. You do those 2 things, I don't care when you do the show, you will have a successful trade show. But those are the 2 most relevant things. If you want a successful trade show, I believe you have to accomplish. Find ways so that the people go there, really get a substantial. It costs a lot of money to go to the trade show. Sure. It does. And it's Vegas, it's worse because you're spending a lot of money when you're at the trade show. That has nothing to do with business, right? So it costs a lot of money no matter what going to the trade show. Make it so that people really have a way to save. Get the people who want to buy, the people who are going to grow, because the people who want to buy and spend money on the people that are going to grow in this business. I mean, let's face it, half our industry, without a doubt, are relics, dinosaurs, haven't figured out how to grow one iota in 2 decades, right? Attract the people who are going to grow in this industry, who are opening up more locations, who will find a way to be successful. Those are the people who are going to come. They're going to spend a lot of money, and then give them a great time. And they'll come no matter what time of year it is. And yeah, you're going to have people, depending on the time of year, this ain't going to work for them or this ain't going to, but it won't matter because the show will be a destination that people need to and want to go to. You make them need to go, and then you make them want to go, and you'll have a successful show year after year after year.
I mean, you did that with the Great Smoke, Abe. I mean, that's exactly, you think about it. Consumers go down there, right? They get great value on deals down there, but there's a great experience, and it's a simple formula.
It's worked for us.
It's worked
for over 2 decades.
It's proven there, yeah.
And I was going to mention this earlier too. I thought about it when you were talking, but I feel like if you're going to shop and you don't have the ability to leave your shop in July for a couple of days, you don't have the staff for whatever reason, then you're probably not in a position where you're going to do meaningful buying at the trade show anyway.
Exactly,
if you don't even have the ability to leave your shop for a couple of days in July.
That's the truth. Do you need to be going to the show at all?
Right.
And this is, and if this is the move, if this is what we're catering to, what does that say about what our trade show is worried about?
Yeah. And the July 4th thing, why I never bought into it, is there's only been one trade show that's been right before that July 4th weekend. That was 2018. It's after July 4th. It's not July 4th. It's after it.
Right.
So I never, my son worked retail. I never saw July 4th as an issue for staffing there. I never saw it. And I've seen other stores where I see owners go on vacations during that time. I think it's more about a lot of the owners, maybe in their staff, they want to take time off in the summer, and that's why they don't want July. I don't think it's this I can't leave my store mentality. I haven't been able to subscribe to that.
Alex's comment right there was spot on. That basically, that's it in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Hey, to answer your question, Allison, because honestly, I get asked a lot. Look, here's the thing. Whether it's me or anybody else, you want to make a really successful trade show, an event, a buying event, an experience event, what you need to do is you need to hire one person in charge who could work with autonomy, pay them, because this volunteer shit doesn't work. Pay them and let them run the show.
Yep.
Because this group decision making and whatever never leads to really anything great. That's the problem. Let somebody run the show, and you want to know what? If he makes a great show, you keep him. If he fucks it up and he sucks, you fire him and find another guy. But until that formula is met, this decision by committee, and for this kind of thing, a trade show, getting 10, 11 people with their opinions and whatever, it's a choke. It's a choke. Great things are not going to happen. Let somebody run it. Let somebody do it. Pay him to do it. And if he sucks, you get rid of him. That's the best. That's really the best way you're going to run a show.
I agree.
Evan, can I do the dinner? If it was anything like the last dinner, buddy, that'll be a big hit.
Right.
That'll be a big hit. You have to cover the costs.
So,
well, to answer this question, Alan is a thesaurus of questions in any topic. Here's the thing. You have to be able to buy a lot to cover your expense, to talk about saving. So the problem is these small guys who got to get out there, if they don't buy enough, no matter how good the deal is, they're not going to cover their expenses. It's thousands of dollars to get yourself there, to stay there, the airfare there. Forget the money you're spending there. So, psychologically, I never look at going there as part of what I try to offset as part of my buying. But, I never did. I never went to the trade show, and it's really funny because, looking back on it, it's kind of insane. But I never went to a trade show with a budget. I'm talking about even when we were one location, 900 square feet. And I just wung it. I bought what we needed. I mean, listen, fortunately enough, nobody ever ships right away. I mean, some people ship before we leave the trade show. Okay. Perdomo's one of them, man. They're processing orders.
Very, very few.
Yeah, they're processing orders while you're at the show and shipping.
Right.
But, I would order crazily. Well, I mean, look, here's rule number one. If you're in retail, if you're afraid to buy, get out of retail. It's not your business. And I think that's one of the weaknesses of many, many people, in not just our industry, in retail in general. They're afraid to buy. Money in the bank is no good. It's worthless. It makes you feel good to look at a number and see a number in your bank account. It does nothing for you. The money and product is way more valuable to you. So if you're afraid of buying, get out. Retail is not for you. But I used to go and buy, and I look back at what I used to buy. It was it's nuts. But thank God it got shipped over probably 6 months, 7 months. But I bought what we needed. I thought we could sell, especially if it was a good deal. And we always figured it out. Rules by committee never work. It really doesn't.
Never does.
And especially this kind of a committee, because they're so eclectic. And then, a lot of times they're nominating. I mean, now I know the nomination system has changed, but they're nominating people who are their friends, so that it's mostly people who are in the same mindset who sit on the board. So you have this clique of a majority of the people who all are kind of the same psychology. And then you have guys who are really trying to improve and do things. And it's a constant butting of heads. But you want to run a successful trade show, let somebody run it. Give them the reins, let them go crazy. Yep. Let him become a hero, or let him fail and fall on his face. That's the way it happens.
So, Abe, when you say that, right, you're talking about outsourcing it, right?
I don't care outsourcing. Let Dan Pierce, Scott Pierce run it. Like somebody. But I mean, from what I understand is, look, if any, and I don't think much has changed, right? The board sits and makes decisions, and then just wants Scott to execute them. So at the end of the day, unless things have changed, Scott's just like a facilitator. When they call it CEO, is that what they're calling it now? I forget what the position is. It's changed. The name of it's changed over the years. But
sounds more like a COO. If he's just
I think it's more executive. I think it's executive director. It used to be CEO.
It's something. It's changed a couple times over the years.
Now.
But that position basically sits and reports to the board, and the board makes decisions, and then he executes them. He advises, he gives an opinion, but the board has the ultimate say. And I've seen it where the board has made choices, and that person in that position is looking at like, this is such a wrong idea, bad idea. Yeah. That's the way it goes.
Coop, any info on this docu-series? Outside of I know you reported that it's produced by the same team that did Handrolled.
Not so much. I tried to ask Pete about it when he was on the show late last year, because I was hearing stuff about it, but I think it's going to be more smaller takes of people in the cigar industry that we're going to see. So I'm not sure where they're focusing on and what the topics are going to be, but it's not going to be a full long movie from what I understand.
Gotcha.
This is a good question, and I think really hard data has to be looked at. So one of the things that I first remember was being talked about, and may have been implemented the year I was on the board, which is like a decade plus ago, was they had grouped all the new companies together.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't know if that helped or hurt them, because and I don't know the data. So this is something you'd really have to look back at the data or talk to people after the show, because psychologically you'd say, oh, great, I can go to one place and see all the new people. But on the same psychology, a lot of people could be like, oh, I don't need to go there because
I don't need to go to this. Yeah,
right.
I feel like that would be my, unless I'm I'm really looking for something new, maybe I'll go. But if, I think the better play would be, him. Next to the Padron booth that I'm leaving is these guys. Let me see as I'm walking by.
Them throughout major vendors might be better. They might get lost. That's something that I could see work and not work at the same time. I think that's something you'd have to do and really look at the hard data and ask and do a lot of surveys and talk to people, face to face afterwards and seeing whether that's something that works or not. But I do think that the layout of the show, I don't know if it makes for a better or worse show, but I think could increase or help certain parts of the industry better or not. So I don't know. How do you feel on layout, Coop? It's hit or miss. I don't know what.
It's hit or miss, like, for example, I've seen some companies, they get booths on the ends and they do really well. Like a Perdomo could put his booth anywhere. And like Nick's booth last year was on the edge and he had no problem getting traffic to that booth. Right. So if you build it, they will come. Is kind of what I'm gonna say. You know, I don't think it matters where your booth is, and if you're not building it right, you're not gonna come. You know?
Listen. I believe that same theory in my retail stores.
Yeah.
If you build it right, they will come. It's
Right.
really now putting yourself in a high traffic area. Yeah, it helps. It'll make
Helps a
benefit
little,
you.
yeah.
It'll start you off maybe a little bit easier, but I don't think it's something that's necessary. Build something right, they will find you. Especially in our industry because we're such a niche industry. Guys coming to town want to know where their cigar shops are. Guys living in town want to know where cigar shops are. They will find you, and if you have the reputation, you build something right, they will find you more than less.
And if you carry the products, then it's really you're differentiating yourselves, like you said, with the customer service.
Ryan, there's no price. This is something I wouldn't even contemplate until retirement. Right now, my focus. Look, I think about 4 years. I think when I worked with a company called Sindicato. Sindicato was a great concept. It was made of retailers to build brands because, in theory, who would know better about what consumers' wants, the needs, and desires are than the retailers who work with the consumers every day? Great in theory. Execution ended up being a little bit harder, and then we had a lot of resistance from within the industry. Long and short is, I took 4 years as chairman of that board, working with a group of my peers, working on that company, and at the end of the day, my business sacrificed for it. I think 2018 was our first bad year since we got it because I was focusing somewhere else. So I ended up literally that year resigning my position as chairman of the board, got back to focusing on my company in 2019. And we've been having epic years since. So it's something I probably wouldn't even contemplate unless I was really retired and out of the retail side of the game.
Question: Am I the only one unfamiliar with Oz Perlman?
I didn't know who he was, but Coop seemed very familiar with him.
Yeah, I've seen him on there around.
You're giving us
What-
feedback a little bit, Coop.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yep.
He was on America's Got Talent, is where I first saw him.
You know
Well,
what's funny
let-
is, you know who first started poaching America's Got Talent? I started that back with
Yeah.
the Great Smoke, like
Yep.
15 years ago. It was a great way to find good talent when we were looking for entertainment for the Great Smoke. I would call these guys who were like in the top 10 and didn't win and were runner up, and we would get them to come down. I think we had 2 or 3 people who were on America's Got Talent who performed at the Great Smoke over the years.
Yeah, I think in this case they're not looking for Oz to give a rah-rah speech. Okay, I think in this case it's entertainment that he's going to be doing. And I
Okay,
think,
so what? Go ahead.
yeah, I think he's going to be doing like entertainment, which is different than having a guy just like when they had Rudy Giuliani talk about fracking like 6 years ago, which was just lost everyone's attention. Yeah.
So let me just read this real quick. This is just quick Google.
Yep.
The estimated speaking fee range to book Oz Perlman for your event is $50,000 to $100,000.
That's what 50 is about, where any decent speaker range starts.
And my opinion is he better knock it out of the park for that price because you have.
I mean, I feel like you can get. I'd rather get like a fucking rock band and do a concert for a 50 to 100.
Have Sokka get up for a half hour. I mean, that's.
I mean, you want him. With all due respect, you want a magician. Doesn't Kevin Schweitzer go to the PCA?
I mean, I've seen some. Like 1 year, the TA had the guy from Harley who helped rebuild the Harley Davidson brand.
Yep.
I still reiterate some of the stuff he's talked about then at that thing. It was a great speaker. One of my favorite speakers, I think one of the funnest speakers of all time that they had at the trade show was Terry Bradshaw. He was great. Yeah, I mean, speaker fees are negotiable, but I think these days you're starting at about 30 or 40 for anybody.
Easily, yeah.
Of any decency, of any relevancy. How good does it make your experience? It really depends on the speakers. I've had some that were just complete duds, and some that were like, I'm still talking about it 10 years ago. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. I mean, it's hard to find that relevant speaker that's going to resonate and connect with the crowd. It really, really is. But one of my and the guy who showed up at the TAA, I can't even remember his name. But I still remember that speech. I mean, he talked about literally how they rebuilt Harley Davidson as a lifestyle stopped talking about the motorcycle. No one cared about the motorcycle. And it was really a brilliant keynote speaker. I mean, really. I already lived a lot of what he was talking about, but I learned so much that I try to incorporate even today, 10 years later, probably.
Alex, just on, I think what they could be doing here is, again, if you're trying to get entertainment, right? And I know we have a lot of entertaining people in our industry, and I mentioned the soccer thing, but bring in a professional entertainer here, kind of, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, you hear that a little bit.
I'm not hearing anything negative.
Yeah, no, I can hear him a little bit. He's coming back. Either a speaker or something coming back to you.
I think what hurt
myself too.
I think what hurt the PCA was honestly cigar aficionados' lack of involvement in the PCA. Cigar aficionado in the early years was present at every trade show, and they always brought some of that star power to the trade shows and some of the cool people there. And I think I'm pretty sure they're still not involved. Is that correct, Coop? I don't think I've seen Cigar Aficionado there, and probably
they were there last year.
They were. Well, I missed them then. But they were heavily involved every year, especially coming after the boom. I mean, for many, many years, a big booth. They'd have stars there almost every other day. And it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun. They hear it live.
I was just testing my mic. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, they were there. Cigar Aficionado was off the grid for a couple of years.
They've been off, even when they're there, they've been off the grid. They were very involved a while back in the trade shows, and his presence-wise and, bringing people to the trade show. I don't even know, what did they do last year? I don't remember seeing them.
I'm going to assume they were there for that good old Padron Fuente stuff.
Probably coverage of that.
Right.
CA is always pissed about something. I mean, it's not one thing, it's another.
I mean, they used to have their way at the trade show where they could just walk into any booth, and now they're competing with a lot of online media folks.
Well, not being the only outlet for news, education, definitely is not something they're a big fan of anymore. Because for many, many years, that was it. You wanted to learn something about cigars, that was your source. You had you had no other way of learning about anything other than going into your local retail shop, which once again, we forget how many cigar smokers across the country don't have that privilege.
Yep.
That's one of the things. Many people will not have that privilege.
That's true.
Wait, I clicked on the wrong one. Allison, it's two different things.
Yes.
What we do is literally meant to be a production. It's meant to entertain. It's a show. I mean, and it's not a trade show. It's not a selling show. Now, can you take elements of what we do and incorporate it somehow into a business trade show? Absolutely. And probably make it a little bit more exciting and fun. But they're two completely different organisms on a whole level. So don't think you could take a TGS model and attach it to the PCA.
Steve Toth, according to Coop, this year. According to Abe, maybe next year.
The official word was said Father's Day.
Is it Father's Day? What, June?
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they told attendees at the Big Smoke. And
they've never, ever given a date that they didn't make, either company.
Never, no.
It's never happened.
Let's put it like this: when I win, I will come down. I'm going to personally come down to South Florida to claim my signed bill in person. I'm going to come down there.
Listen, I called Kevin Shahan up on stage and gave him. I don't have a problem losing. It happens.
By the way, Coop got his first experience of one of our favorites while he was down here during the Great Smoke. Stumbled upon Kapow.
So this is a really good story. Can I tell this?
Sure.
Why not?
Okay, so we stopped by Boynton Beach on Thursday night. Ben and I drove down. And that's the night I misplaced my phone. I kind of saw you guys for a few minutes. And we were talking to Jonathan Drew. Now, the plan was we were going to go across the street to go to get dinner at that hot pot place.
Yeah.
And okay, but okay,
All right.
that's
good.
what we don't have anything like hot pot really up by us, right? So we get, Jonathan ends up just one more minute. So we get there, and of course it's closed by the time we get there. So Ben literally starts going on his phone, and he's looking up some sort of Asian place to go to at like 11 o'clock at night, and he finds this kapow place in Boca.
In
And
Boca or downtown Boca?
it was in.
They got 2 locations: downtown West Palm and Boca.
Yeah, it was in Boca. I think he
It was
said
in
in
Boca. It
Meisner.
was definitely in Boca.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in this shopping kind of.
It was in
Meisner Park. Meisner
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah. And I tell you, it was fantastic. Is all I got to say. It was just incredible.
My kids love that place. We've taken
Capal's one of our favorites.
We've taken Terrence Riley and his son there after a KMA episode. I think the Hernandez brothers. We took Kevin Casey, and you were with us for that one.
I was
Kevin
with
Casey
us
and
Lars Teetons.
Lars Teeton there, because when we used to broadcast live out of the studio on 45th Street, it was literally like 8-minute drive from the 45th Street studios.
Right.
So we would take guys who'd come into KMA for lunch there regularly after the show.
I remember that too, because in typical Lars Teetons fashions, I remember he was on some kind of strange diet where he like couldn't eat half the stuff, or was like picking parts off of.
It was more for us.
Absolutely.
It was more for. Does anybody know? Because it's definitely not talked about. Is that brand even still part of Alec Bradley? I mean, I don't know.
So this is what I've heard. Okay, it was always a separate company owned by Alan Rubin, so I don't think it was included in the Alec Bradley transaction. But what Alan's involvement is with Lars Teetons is very unknown, because they definitely distanced themselves from that.
So it's a good assumption that whatever that arrangement was, it's dead and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah. But from what I understand, the Lars Teetons did not get acquired with under the STG acquisition.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
It was always a separate company. Yeah.
Not surprised there. Special, I think, gratitude goes to Kevin Casey, who had the unfortunate position of being Lars Teetons' handler in the South Florida area.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Jack Heyer had that role in the West.
Can you imagine driving around with him? Oh my God.
Jack Heyer did that in the West, who's now literally can't stop to get a coffee without the guy pulling out his guitar to put a show on.
One of the strange. I think KMA interviewed him and I interviewed him too. Very strange interview.
Oh, it was one of those. I think, Alex, was that your first time doing a KMA episode?
As a guest, who
yes,
wasn't
you were guest fill-in, yeah.
I was a guest fill-in for either Paul or Ad. I think it was for Paul.
That was your first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a way to come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, I think that's it on the PCA talk. I mean, I don't know, there's no more reason to beat a dead horse, but that was my statement: is who cares? Not as if I don't care what's good for the PCA.
We got an hour of content, Abe.
I just don't think it's a talking point. I don't think it's going to change anything. I don't think it's going to make anything better. Whoever you solve problems for, you create problems for other people at the end of the day. I think the focus, like I said, the PCA is really focused on 2 things. Work with your manufacturers so that you really reward those people who come, that they get a benefit, make it, and get to really buy things with some kind of power, and then find a way to give them stuff to talk about, give them a great experience. I mean, I could confidently say, without being arrogant or biased, is that experience-wise, as far as you want to go to multi-vendor cigar events, it's hard to match what we do for the Great Smoke. Take a little bit of that kind of a magic and throw it in a PCA. Throw some events out there. Let people go home. I mean, it's been 2 weeks. I'm still seeing people post and talk about it, man. You could touch people like that. Give them stuff to talk about. You do that, you won't have any quips or qualms or any issues on what kind of trade show you're going to have. Because those are the 2 main ingredients. Am I missing something there, Coop?
No, I agree. I agree 1,000%. We're on the same page with this one, Abe, for the most part.
Right?
Yeah.
Shockingly.
Once in a while.
I know, yeah.
Happens once in a while.
I didn't think we would be, yeah.
And listen, nothing against Mike, too. Mike, I have nothing but
same here.
respect for. Absolutely. I mean, his opinion could be right, too. It's epic. It's just my opinion, I'm just not I don't have very little faith in these survey things. You know, the number one complaint we always heard about was time of year. And then you think this is the first time they sent this survey? This exact same question has been asked for over 2 decades, every year. And then as a board, we were always shocked that because it was the number one complaint. If you walk the floor, the number one complaint you would hear almost every year is the time of year the trade show is. And then you'd send this survey out, and the results would be like, oh, no, we like what time it is of the year. It's like, what? So, yeah.
Yep.
It is what it is. But that's our horse. That's the who cares segment by Honest the Babna. We're going to be back with hour number 2 with a lot more fun with the gang. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it lit.
Phenomenal. 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 Phenomenal.
Explore the unexplored with St. Louis Ray Carenas. Set sail to discover an extraordinary Honduran cigar deeply anchored in tradition. The St. Louis Ray Carenas features a Nicaraguan wrapper cloaked over 100% Honduran tobacco that make up the binder and filler. The St. Louis Ray Carenas, in the Toro size, received a 93 rating in Cigar Aficionado and was featured in their illustrious Top 25 Cigars of 2021 list. The St. Louis Ray Carenas is available in 4 different sizes: a Robusto, Toro, Bellicoso, and Magnum. So get ready to take a trip back in time to experience the heritage of St. Louis Ray with the St. Louis Ray Carenas.
Surgeon
What is that?
Looks like a big giant hole in the ground.
With my father in. Hey, need any help?
You don't know the tools. You don't know nothing.
Well, how would I? The only time you let me come on a plumbing trip with you, you fired me after 10 minutes.
Because you were incompetent.
I was 7. This is my father, Mordecai.
Mordecai.
And this is the story
Are you having trouble hearing on that thing?
I had trouble eating, period.
of how one small change
He knew I thought.
You see how people stare at that thing.
I don't understand. There's no buttons.
opened up his world
I'll teach you.
I take lessons from my phone.
in ways he never imagined.
It's time you lived a little.
You're an 80-year-old man. Act like it.
Is this your family?
Yeah. It was 1939. It was the World War. We had to leave everything. Well, probably hard on Marvin, I know. I just wanted him to have better life than I had.
Maybe you can tap into what was missing.
I work on being a father to my son. What's with the ice cream? Makes you feel like a kid again. What? Now make you feel young? Ice cream make me feel young. I'm not ready to be old man.
But you are old to me.
Hello, this is first iPhone call. It's nice to be young. It's nice to be old. Nice to have fun with no buttons. It's nice to have family.
What can I help you with?
You are Siri?
Yes, I'm Siri.
Oh, Siri, that's a nice name. I keep this secret because my wife, she gets jealous.
Welcome back to the second half of KMA Talk Radio. Abe was not ready. He obviously did not look at his text, but here we are. We're
There
back.
he is.
I forgot I turned the camera off for a second. I was watching, ready to cue in. I was.
All right, okay.
It's all good. Back to hour number 2.
Before you get started, I want to make an announcement, and I'm making an executive decision here. Okay, if the next time Juan Cancel makes his way to Florida and does not stop by to at least say hello, I'm killing off that commercial.
Did you see that? I don't know if I sent you that post. This guy's
You did.
Yeah.
He's been around. This is not the first time. Juan, if you don't come stop by, we're killing off your KMA plug.
Hey, Juan, a little inside information. There's a bar at Smoke Inn.
There's a bar at Smoke Inn.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Juan's been behind it, making old fat.
I think that's fair.
So
I don't know. Is he scared? I have no.
I don't know. But he's been floating around Florida lately.
I
It's
mean,
not the first time.
He was up here, North Vero Beach, Port St. Lucie, not far. Jensen Beach,
far.
Jensen Beach, not far from us. But I agree.
I agree.
So that's funny.
Yeah, that's a free commercial actually for him.
Free commercial.
That's a free commercial. He's not.
It is.
FRE.
Free plug.
Yeah.
He may owe me $1. I don't know. That's funny. But we'll see. And Coop, just so you know, man, I keep this posted at my desk. So
what?
These are the current bets I have outstanding.
Okay. Yep.
What's that? What's
Coop? Well, the other one Dennis owed me that X Card 5 was going to be done by October.
You know what? We're good. We don't. And look, if the clock strikes midnight on the 31st, I lose. So, and I'll pay.
Let me see. Does he have a walking cane fueled by cigars? He owed $1. Anyways, hour number 2 is we kick it off, and it's brought to you by the wonderful folks at Avo Cigars. We're going to see what Alex has up for us to test the musical acumen of the Coop, myself, and the fine folks who are up this morning watching with us. It's time to see if you can name that jam.
All right. So it is time to name that jam. Here's my take on this one. I think the song may be easy to get. I think we're going to have a problem here with naming the actual band. Are we ready?
The best way.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Back in the middle. Yeah.
Stuck in the middle. Yeah.
Close enough. Stuck in the middle. But
stuck in the middle with you.
But
yeah, I don't know if I can name that band.
I think I know it.
Just post that every week, Michael.
It's some weird name. It's some weird name.
It is a weird name.
Best scene in one of the greatest movies of all time, too.
Sure, Reservoir Dogs, of course.
Yeah, one of Michael Madsen's best scenes. He's talking to the ear. Fucking brilliant. Great scene.
It's like Honey Wheat or something like that. It's
somebody saying Steelers Wheel. I would have never guessed it.
That's it. Yeah.
I think Steve Mazuka was the first to say it.
Yeah, it's Steelers Wheel. Like I said, it was some weird name. I remember.
Well, let's hit it.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Well,
great pick. Did these guys? Did they have another hit?
Well, one of the guys from this band was Jerry Rafferty, who went on to have a pretty decent solo career. But for the most part, and Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street, he was famous for. But no, I don't think they really did much more after that.
Well, Kent Simon, in our list, Steve Mazuka came up right before yours. So you both were at 1106. So Kent Simon believes he was first. So we'll give you both credit. We'll give you both credit.
Actually, I see Jay Davis first. If you scroll up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
Good job, Jay.
And 1 second. Also, Jay Davis, the only one to spell it correctly as well.
That's the definitive winner right there.
Oh, that is the definitive winner.
That is the definitive winner right there. Great pick. But was there another hit by those guys? Were they a one-hit wonder?
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
no, they were one-hit wonder.
I have to assume they did well
I said
off Reservoir
Jerry
Dogs.
Rafferty had Baker Street right down the line. You know, so he had a decent solo career where he charted with those songs. But that Steelers Wheels that's the only song I know of.
Well, this has been an excellent episode of Name That Jam, brought to you by the fine folks over at Avo Cigars, making music with fine tobacco for decades. I gotta figure out what the exact phrase was, and
yeah, I'll have to look back at it.
I said it somewhere nice.
Yeah, they go. Yeah. I'll look back at previous episodes.
So there was a story about STG returning to the PCA.
Yes,
but they were there last year under the Forged umbrella. Yeah,
they were there under Room 101 last year.
Okay.
So last year they were there under Room 101, but they drew a couple of cigars that were from other brands. There was
that move I didn't like. I didn't think that was really fair.
No, they had that Sancho Panza. They had the Sancho Panzas and they had the Los Status Deluxes. And Sancho Panza isn't even a forged product. Room 101 is a forged brand. Sancho Panza is a general product.
That's a general product. Right.
So,
I thought that was a little cheesy. I don't think the PCA should have allowed that, to be honest with you. I think you need to make these companies either be involved or not be involved. If you don't want to be involved, I respect that opinion, then don't be involved. But
I think the PCA was just glad
happy to see anything. All right. Well, did anything come of that? Is it, who is actually in Coop? You'd know better than any of us. Who is actually at the show this year? Is it Forged? Is it General? Is it Room 101? I mean, how are they listed as an exhibitor this year?
So they're going to be listed as Forged, and they're going to take the space that Alex Bradley had.
Now I'm losing Coop. Is it just me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, there you go.
Okay. So it's going to be Forged. And they're going to take the Alec Bradley space to do it.
Okay, so they're taking. Okay, is it a Forged booth?
It's going to be a Forged booth.
It's not going to be an Alec Bradley booth. It's going to be a Forged booth.
It's going to be a Forged booth, and they pretty much announced that they're going to showcase all the brands on the Forged, which Forged as an entity hasn't been to a PCA trade show or IPCBR before. So it's kind of Forge's first foray. I've been told General will not be there this year. Now, could we see General stuff in that booth? That's going to be interesting.
If they do it again, if I was on the board of the PCA, I'd have a problem with it. I'd say nothing for nothing.
I think they should. I agree.
If it's going to be a Forged booth, make it a Forged booth. We'd love to have you back if you'd like to come and take a General booth to show your products. But to sit there and to squeeze your products in through your separate entity, I don't know.
Now,
I don't know where that line gets drawn.
Now, Ferrier-Tago was there, but they're not Davidoff, even though they're distributed by Davidoff. They're not the same company as and there was no Davidoff product at that booth is what I was telling you.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah. So, because I've heard that argument, Ferrier-Tago is completely different. And from what I understand, when Michael made that deal with Davidoff, I'm supporting the PCA. That was part of the deal from day one.
Well, typically, if you're distributing a brand, you have no say on how that other company's run. All you control is how you ship that company's product. So I don't even think Michael needed Davidoff's permission.
Yeah. Well, there's a little interesting. Another company's returning this year. It's a little not really been talked about, but Hoya de Nicaragua's returning.
Without Drew Estate.
Without Drew Estate.
I think it's a good move. Once again, same and perfect example.
Sure.
Hoya de Nicaragua is not owned by Drew Estate. Doesn't need Drew Estate's permission to do anything. And I think it's a good move on Hoya de Nicaragua.
Right, I think so too. I mean, they supported Drew Estate for a while, but I think and I talked to Juan about this at the Great Smoke, and he was basically saying the same thing. It was time to come back for them.
I think this is a key point that if I was sitting on the PCA board, I would start really having some one-on-one conversations with either Drew Estate, because a huge portion of the portfolio, a nice portion of the portfolio, is now going to be exhibitor, and General. These guys are primed to come back. They're already, some form of their organization's already there with the president. I mean, you can make the argument of Davidoff too, but not as much as General and Drew Estate. And like I said, my first pick on who I thought may come back was Altadis.
Altadis was mine too.
Yeah, but who knows?
I was a little surprised on this. To be honest with you, I still was surprised on this. I didn't see this one coming. I
Which
thought
one?
I didn't see Fords coming. I thought if they were going to do anything, they were going to do exactly what they did last year, kind of sneak some stuff into the Alec Bradley booth. I knew the Alec Bradley booth was there. That's what I was thinking they were going to do.
Well,
But they made a statement. They made a statement on it. So I think it's the beginning of them coming back.
I mean, look, Coop. When was the acquisition roughly last year of Room 101?
It was in June. It was right before the trade
I think
show.
that's the only reason why it wasn't forged last year.
Probably.
No organization that I know of has ever taken a booth under one brand that they own.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the only reason they weren't ready to go. Matt already had a booth. Matt already had the Room 101 set up. They weren't prepared to have a forged booth, and that's the only reason why it was a Room 101 booth last year. If the acquisition was any earlier, where they had time, I believe it would have been a forged booth.
Yeah, but the fact that they came out and did a joint press release, and they actually both did a press release on this, is telling me I think there was some bridges mended with this, and it looks like they're going to go forward.
Well, listen, once again, a lot of people talk, a lot of people say shit, but the ratio of percentage of people who act on the shit they say is very slim to none in my experience. So if this date change helps this organization at all get the Big Four back in, kudos. That's a move that I say is worthy of the move being made.
We'll see next year. We'll know next year.
Yeah, but any of these other reasons that I've heard are absolutely preposterous.
I agree. We agree again on this.
It is.
It's scary. We agree.
Yeah, it's something that's really going to benefit the show. It's within itself. Yeah. It's a great move. But to say it's a better time of year for retailers, better buying power, not being able to leave, all that is just rhetoric.
Yeah.
Real quick, Seth Jones. The answer to your question is until we run out, and we may have overbought a little bit on Beats for the Great Smoke.
Oh God, yes. We're going to yes, there are going to be beads going in a lot of shipments.
I mean, the way we bought bead, we probably could have gave every attendee 20 to 30 cents of beads.
So just a little background on that. The plan was, you make plans, sometimes you're not able to come through. The plan was kind of where the Abe photo booth was, or somewhere in that area. We were going to make a 2-story facade that looked like a Bourbon Street building, and we were going to have people propped up like on a second floor just for 4 hours pitching beads out to people. But for safety reasons, space reasons, that plan never came to fruition. So our method of dumping tons and tons of beads out for 4 or 5 hours didn't come through, and they ended up getting handed out by ladies. And we have a lot of beads, so it's gonna be a very beady summer this year.
So what? Right now, you're just anyone who puts an order with smoke in or getting Mardi Gras
beads.
Okay.
Why not? Why not?
No, I was just wondering.
Why not? What are we gonna do with them?
Right.
What are we gonna do with them? Well, you know what? See, now I have zero faith that Altus will be the first to come back.
if it's anything like his basketball predictions,
I have zero. He's like Mush from A Bronx Tale, man. We just got screwed. Alan, I need you to answer honestly. Do you think the Fuente Padron will be released this year?
I
need to know.
He's
Hold on. I need to know, because I'll feel a lot better about my bet depending on what he says. Listen, all these people are coming. If you want any of that TGS stickers and beads, or if you're a member of our socialite group, just on your order, put in the comments, send me some beads, send me a
TGS
patch, sticker, send me a socialite patch. We're happy to give that stuff out. We just don't want to send 30 to the same people, because some people order a lot. So if you just need some of that stuff, put it in the customer notes section. We're happy to throw it out for you guys. Chris, there you go. I answered your ticket. Just put it in your notes. We have plenty of patches. And, oh God, did I silence Alan Rubin? Oh, here it is.
don't think so.
He doesn't have. He's like Potawatomi Phil or whatever it is. He can't see his own shadow. Doesn't know about it.
Come on.
You have an opinion about everything. This is the first time in the history of knowing Alan Rubin that he doesn't have an opinion on something.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
That's just fear and cowardice.
Preston, I'll make you a deal, right? If you send pics to Alan Rubin and send us proof, we will not only put in beads, but extra swag in your order. All we need is a screenshot of your pics to Alan Rubin.
I don't even want to know what the picture is going to be. Oh, my gosh.
Run.
Oh, see, Alan's rooting for me now. I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're toasted.
I'm toast. I'm toast.
Get that? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big question for you, Alex, because I'm not in charge of this. This is going to be you. You're going to flood his mailbox with pictures of male titties. I'm going to tell you right now.
I mean, all right. Look, here's what we'll do. We got some swag. The first 10 people who flood Alan Rubin's inbox and then send me proof. I will make sure you get extra beads and some cool free swag on your next order. The first 10 people.
This is an Alex Tavella project. Do not message me about this shit. I'm telling you right now.
And you can always reach him on Facebook Messenger.
Yes. First 10, send me proof.
Oh my God.
Send Alan pictures. Send me the screenshot of it. Shit. And we will make sure.
Oh.
Don't apologize.
You know what?
Oh my God. Oh shit.
I'm gonna do one better because I don't want to limit it to just 10 people. I'm gonna do one better. Everyone, send your pictures to Alan Rubin. Send me a screenshot. I will then put together a nice collage of them, and we will pick the top 5 winners on KMA and send you guys out something nice.
Are we going to have a broadcast on this and show all the pictures and highlights?
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it during KMA. I'll make
we'll make a little show out of it. All right.
It's open to everyone. You don't have to be in the first 10, but make it good.
This could be
Keep it so that I can show it on the screen on KMA.
Right. So YouTube doesn't flag
but
us.
Make it good. Right, we don't want to get flagged, and then I'm look. I don't know if you can see this, but I have messages coming in already.
This could be the best thing of the year right now. Holy shit! Oh my gosh!
Oh God, Quentin, that is the grossest man breast.
Oh my God!
Oh God! Oh, this is going to be epic. It's starting. So,
oh my God! I don't have the Facebook thing open. I should say it's got to be a million smiley faces going up on the fucking screen, man. Oh my God! I'm dying over here.
So we already have 2 entries.
All right, look at this. Look at this.
Oh God!
Oh my
God!
We gotta clip this episode here. This is definitely something.
Oh man!
Write it down, Alex. This is some funny shit. Oh my God!
This is going to be well worth it.
Oh fuck! Is there a way to block messages?
We're not gonna tell you.
Right. That's right.
Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be hard to come off of this. Okay. All right.
Oh boy.
Is Coop dying? He's looking down. All he sees is sad.
I'm like, I can't.
Oh shit! Oh gosh, I gotta fucking take a breath. Okay.
Wait. Just to.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's coming through.
Let me responses.
Oh God.
Poor bastard. Oh shit.
You brought it all on yourself.
Oh God.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Well, thank you, Alan. Thank you for that.
Oh fucking man. Holy shit.
Coming in hot.
Quentin. Oh, my stomach hurts, man. My stomach muscles hurt. Oh man. Oh shit. All right.
Oh boy.
All right, let's depress the mood a little bit here. Let's talk about this chess scandal.
Yes. Yes. Why is my phone ringing?
Oh, you know what we got to do? Listen,
Yes.
the next week that Paul's not on, we need to do something like this. Just have his phone blow up.
Yeah.
Not he won't. And Alan knows what's coming in.
Yeah.
Who said that? Somebody said that we need to do this to Paul, but we need to do it on the next week. We need to think of something really like.
He won't listen to the show. He won't even.
No, of course not.
Like,
And
we
just
can
have
really
his phone
find
start blowing up with.
Yeah.
Nobody do it this week. We're gonna
Don't
come
do
up
it.
with
Don't do
something.
it. Wait, we'll get him good.
We're gonna get something. And we're just
Wait, while he's on the show?
No, the next time he's not on the show.
All right.
We will,
so you know
we'll
what
have
to
something
do.
ready. We'll come up with something really like.
I know what to do. No. I know what to do. I know what to do. And
But
since
don't
he
say
doesn't
it.
watch,
Don't say it.
well, he doesn't watch the show anyway. So
No, but don't say it now because people will start doing it now. Just hold
No,
on.
no,
to that.
no. It's not them. I don't need them. They can chime in, but I have something better. Do you
The
remember what I
blow-
did to Adam
Oh,
before?
yeah. Did you do that to Adam? Was that you?
Yes.
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 No, but I like this better because he's wondering why.
This
all
is
these
actually
people-
this is yeah.
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
better. No, we'll think
All
of
right, so
something
we're gonna
good.
need we'll think of something good.
Yes. Do not
And
publicly give us ideas. We'll come up with
Yes,
something
yes.
good.
Oh, we don't want him
But
to
the
find
next
out.
time he's not on the show, which is very viable next week, we'll figure something out to blow everybody,
The Disney trip got to be coming in there too.
blow him up.
Oh
my
wait,
God.
Easter Fest or something. He's got maybe. I don't know.
Oh, he's got something coming up. Look, he's 50-50 any given Saturday. Oh gosh. All right. So what is this about a chess scandal?
Yes.
Scandal.
So the Smoking Social Chess Club had their first chess cheating scandal. So
How?
I will tell you. So take it back to I think it was fall or winter. I put on the first Smoking Social Chess Club chess tournament, and so just to take it back a little bit, we started the Smoking Social Chess Club. It's a group on a club on chess.com for members of Smoking Social and friends of ours and people that we know that enjoy cigars and chess. So what spawned from that was a Chess and Cigars Facebook group was also created. I was not the creator of that, but it kind of coincided with that. And what that did, fortunately or unfortunately, kind of brought some other people in that we maybe didn't know, I didn't know, weren't friends of anyone's, kind of randoms into the group.
But they were all socialites or no?
No, not once the Facebook group got started. Then people who weren't socialites started
Got
joining the group. So I put on this tournament, and I put up some prizes. First prize was a $50 gift card. The other one was
Did this guy win a prize?
So I will get there. So the tournament started, and the way the tournament works is we were playing what's called daily games, which is each time you make a move, the other person has up to 24 hours to make a move. So it was not anything where anybody had time constraints. You know, somebody makes a move, you get a notification, they have almost up to a whole day to make another move. You know, you didn't have to be like there, stop what you're doing, working. It was an easy way for everybody to play. During the tournament, I was having a conversation with one of the other players that I've come to play a lot and know well. Actually, the guy you introduced me onto that podcast that time.
Oh, really?
We become really, I played over tons of games with this guy. And we both kind of messaged each other and said, do you feel like this guy is a kind of weird, like he always The games go normal, but then he always seems to make the best moves at the most crucial point every single time. And we both were like, nah, I don't want to be that guy. You know, I don't want to, you don't want to accuse people of cheating and this. And we were like, man, it's just really suspicious. This guy makes the best move every time it's in a crucial situation. And so actually I got this information during the Great Smoke. Come to find out that this guy who did go on to win the tournament and got a $50 gift card from Smoke Inn.
Did he use it?
He did use it.
Wow.
He's also in the Netherlands, no less. Had his, and I'm going to air him out on KMA because that's what we do, had his account closed for fair play, which essentially means chess.com recognized through their algorithms that he was cheating in his games.
Wow.
So not only was this guy cheating during our event, but he also took away a $50 gift card from the second place winner who probably would have won the tournament if not for his cheating. So I don't know that anal beads were involved, but
funny.
This guy did cheat. And the way you cheat in a situation like that online is you take the current position that the game is in, you load it into a computer database, and then the database will give you the best move to make in that specific situation. So yes, we were the victim of our first cheating scandal. Credit to chess.com for being able to fish that out. And look, it's it's sometimes very easy to see. If you can see at this picture here, like when you see accuracy scores of 93%, 93%, to make the best moves 90% of the time, 93% of the time, consistently in every game is a little bit of a red flag. And they have their algorithms are really good in the way that they look at the
curious, have you looked to see if he's ever ordered again, or was that the only order he ever placed with us?
No, it's the only order ever. It was his first order. And
I was gonna say we could send him a little like cheater trophy,
Right? We could. I mean, if he wasn't in the Netherlands, it's not even worth shipping to the Netherlands.
No, yeah, but if he placed an order, I'd throw it in.
Yeah. I highly doubt it. I think he knows he's been outed.
Wow.
At this point. Yes, so we were the victims of he ordered like a cutter or something from the website Brian Lewis, which I guess is smart because he didn't have to worry about customs. But he was outed, and we move on. It happens. Cheating happens. Of course, there was a huge chess cheating scandal early in the year, and we happened to be victim of one ourselves.
Wow.
Dan Lima says it's time for another tournament.
Yeah, it is time for another tournament soon. But Dan, what you're not paying attention, we have vote chess games going on all the time, which is
what chess?
It's vote chess. So what happens is our club will play another club, right? And the same thing. It's kind of
now when you say our club, is this a socialite club or is this another club?
No, the Smoking Social Chess Club. And what I'll do is I will put out a challenge. So the Smoking Social Chess Club will get pinned against another. Chess.com has clubs, almost like the Facebook version of groups.
Cool.
And what will happen is it's the same thing. It's a 24-hour clock, but their club will make a move. Where am I getting feedback from? I'm getting super feedback.
I hear everything fine.
I'm getting super feedback.
Who are you hearing? Yourself?
I hear myself back from you. You have your speaker on? Lower it a little bit.
How about now?
Hello. Better. A little better. I can still hear. All right. So what will happen is our club will vote on. Everybody gets to vote on the move.
Right? Oh, really?
Right. And whatever move gets the most votes is the move that our team makes. So it can get interesting a little, and we can comment and we can chat on it, before we actually make the move. And a lot of times what we try to do is talk to each other in the chat before everybody votes for the move. But you get different opinions. I know Kent Simon's been someone who's played in every one, and it's fun. It's frustrating sometimes because your move may not be the move that everybody winds up picking, and you kind of got to it's one of those team things where you got to go with the team. It may not have been your decision, but you got to go with whatever the majority of the team went. So it's fun.
Are you still getting the reverb?
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, I popped in and out.
You're good.
Well, Coop, are you back? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. Well, now that you're back, it's perfect timing because it's time to see what is going on in the industry this week. It's time for the Scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
All right.
Koopa.
There we go. All right. I think we just kick it off with the STG releases of the week.
Yes.
So we have to make up for 2
Okay,
weeks.
so listen, do we know how many weeks straight this is? Because we need to keep a running total here.
I don't.
So we've missed a couple weeks of the show, but they have not.
They
I
have
think
not.
it's going to recap a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So last week, they announced a new release under the Partagas brand, which falls under Ford's. It's called Partagas de Bronze, and it's a cigar being made in the U.S. at El Titan de Bronze. So
They spelled it differently.
Yeah, they spelled it's the Spanish version they used of it. So Partagas de Bronze they used.
That's actually a nice looking box.
It is. It's a
It is
nice
a nice
looking
looking
box.
box.
I'm actually really interested in this cigar. It's a one size, a 6 1/4 by 46 Corona Gorda, which is a really nice size. And it's going to be
Is that a 10 count? I hope it's a 10 count.
10 count boxes. Yeah, all Nicaraguan tobacco, highlighted by Corojo wrapper. Not gonna be a cheap cigar, $22.99. But when you make something in the U.S., it's
Ooh, $22 each. Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Like
No, I
Alex likes to say, oof.
Oof. But it's never cheap coming out of El Titan. But
Nope.
their quality.
My only take on this is they've been doing a lot of stuff out of El Titan lately. They did the La Gloria. They did a La Gloria last year, and they've been doing the Cohiba Series M's. Now I'm just wondering if they're going to the well too many times with this. And I think the Partagas brand, I understand they want to try to jumpstart it. I'm just not sure this is going to be the way to do it, but we'll see. I do like the packaging on this a lot.
Listen to me. I think it was great. I think it was great that they used Sandy. I think it's good for any brand. The problem is it didn't have to be a $22 cigar.
Well,
we made it. We made it. Our 25th anniversary cigar was made there, and it's just under $15.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me it had to be a $22 cigar.
No. I mean, I understand it's going to be
Because I had to buy it from a company who bought it from her.
Right.
Right.
You're going through 2 layers to do.
Right. So let's just do some math here, folks. So if you really wanted to revitalize that brand, make it at the Epic Factory, but price it where more people would try it.
Yeah, and that's actually cheaper than the Cohiba. The Cohiba that they announced the Cohiba.
Listen, Cohiba's a flag mark premier line for them. I mean, if you want that to be your top shelf, that's fine.
Okay.
Partagas has never been that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mean, they have certain ones over the years, like the Decadus and stuff like that. But if you really try to do it, man, make it reasonable. Because I got a feeling if it's coming out of that factory, it's going to be a great cigar. Why not put it in as many hands of people as possible? You're not going to do that at a $22 price point.
No, it's gonna be tough. I mean, like I said, Cohiba, they've had some success with the Cohiba release, but there's a market for Cohiba, as you're saying.
Sure, it's a name. I mean, it's got a history, and it's known. It's their Rolls Royce supposedly of their front marks.
Yeah, agree.
What else you got going on, Koopa?
All right, this week, news from a company called Epic Cigars, which I think we're all familiar with. That's a brand, Dean Parsons' brand, that he actually sold that brand.
I was gonna say it's not still his brand anymore, is it?
It's not, but he still kind of oversees Epic. So Epic still kind of operates as a standalone under this. The company that bought it was Xander Gregg, which is a distribution company, but Epic's still an entity under it. I don't want to say subsidiary, but it's a brand under it. So Dean's still doing stuff with that, and he has a project with a company called Big Golf, BIGG Golf, and they're creating a cigar called the Big Stick, which is a cigar that's going to be geared towards golfers. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of these types of projects now, especially for lifestyle projects. I think we're going to see a lot of these now.
This is not a new niche that manufacturers have tried to break into. Never really seen it take off. I mean, look, here's the thing. Golfers smoke. But I don't think they care about a golf branded cigar or a golf themed cigar. Yeah, we'll see what happens with
I
that.
mean, it'll be interesting to see how if Big Golf markets it to a point. I think Big Golf may be looking to try to be a lifestyle brand. It looks like so, but I think they're going to need the help from that end for a project like this to succeed. Is what I've.
Listen, if you could figure out a way to connect with golfers and make it a lifestyle brand, that's great. But that's a huge endeavor. If you want to build a lifestyle brand, man, it's not a let's just throw it out there and it happens.
Yep. No, I agree. So we'll see what happens. But Dean does some pretty good cigars, so we'll see what happens with this. Oh,
what else you got going on?
I missed. Oh, we missed an STG release. We have to go back this week. There were two announcements made by STG, and they announced they're not doing one.
What is this pace that they have that's ridiculous going on?
I don't know. It's they used to do a lot at the trade show. They do like 20 releases at the trade show, 30 releases at the trade show. Now they're spreading it out throughout the whole year, it seems.
Is that what's going on? Yeah.
Yep. But they decided they want to be part of the Elite TAA series. And they decided not to do one, but they decided they're going to do two TAA cigars.
Really?
So, yeah. So they're doing a La Gloria 2023 TAA exclusive. And get this, Sancho Panza is going to have a TAA exclusive.
That's barely made it back alive yet. They basically
I couldn't believe
yet.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And it was interesting because
the problem with this is it really takes away from legitimate. Really, I don't want to say it's illegitimate, but it dilutes the water. It dilutes the pool of having something special as a TA cigar.
It really is, and. I don't know. It's like the La Gloria one, for example, they said it's a cigar they had at their Honduras factory for 4 years. La Gloria is not even made in Honduras. It's made in the Dominican Republic for the most part. So they found something in the factory for 4 years, and now they're going to release it as a TA. So that's the problem I've seen with the TA cigars. That's how it's been treated. It's becoming more like a Caldwell Lost and Found exercise, not about – some companies do a very good job. Like I think LaFleur puts a lot of effort into it. Pete Johnson and Crown Heads. But, some of these other ones, I just got to question what they're doing right now.
Well, let me ask you this. Does the Alec Bradley TAA release technically count as an STG release as well?
That's been around for a while, that one, believe it or not. Yeah, they've done that one before for the TAA, the illicit we were talking about. So we could, if it's coming back, maybe we could say that. But I think that one's I know has been around for a while because I've reviewed that cigar.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's yep. But I'm not gonna talk about the other. We're cutting back on our. By the way, Cigar Coop has made a decision. We're significantly cutting back on TAA coverage going forward because
it's not nothing news anymore. I mean,
it's nothing news, and we don't see a lot of interest from our readers on it. And I was making the point. I think this came up when Alex was on the show. I think the TGS, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on the show. The TGS exclusives and the smoke-in micro blends have more buzz than the TA cigars.
Well, I think it's like you said, Coop. A lot of them, and it's not just us, but I think the overall feeling is that it's almost like they're just checking a box. Here's a release. Here's
yeah.
So just as a little teaser, speaking of micro blend cigars. I am just going to tease something out here during Coop's no teaser rumor free.
Thanks, Abe.
But May, I'm going to venture to say sometime late May, maybe, is probably going to be one of the most exciting for me, like in a long time, micro blend releases. We have a very wild and very cool micro blend release coming out in late May, which people will start hearing around, the next few weeks, might start seeing some videos talking about it. We texted about it while I was away, Alex.
We did.
I'm very excited about it. This was an idea that was conceived, over 2 years ago, right, Alex?
Yes.
Got to be over 2 years when we thought of this idea. It's going to be I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest buzzed microblends that we've had in a while. So
I agree. You're right.
Yeah, because it's going to have such relevance because of what it is, just on the outset. It won't be such an unknown, so it's gonna be cool. Very excited about it.
Nice. Who's making it?
Well, that would just give too much away.
Okay.
News is coming though.
I gotta ask the question.
We got pictures of finished boxes while I was gone. They're in they'll hopefully be in transit soon, and we will start talking about this one very early. Maybe even get some out to people, to some of our media people, to try beforehand.
We should, yeah.
If it's anything like the samples we smoked a while back, man, I'm super excited about this one.
Nice.
All right, Coop. Continuing on.
Two more things.
It is not the Tatuaje Anarchy. That's not a new microblend. That's just a different project. So people are talking about that. It's not that at all. Okay. This is the first time we've done a microblend with this company. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, first time.
All right, give it to me, Coop. Give it to me.
All right, two other announcements. This one was one that I was pretty excited about. Altadis has a new Monte Cristo 1935 anniversary cigar. It's called the Monte Cristo 1935 Edition Diamante. This is another Monte Cristo being made at AJ Fernandez's factory. And the story behind this is when they were creating the original Monte Cristo 1935, they were working on this other blend, but they thought it had potential, but they kind of put it on the side, and then they decided to rework it. And that typically happens with a lot of releases. And now they're releasing this as the Diamante. Nicaraguan Puro that's going to be offered in 3 sizes. Pricing's going to go from $16.42 to $26 in change. I don't know if this was the cigar that Raphael was talking about with the TGS release.
It is.
It is. So,
okay, it is.
So if you ordered a box of the Monte Cristo TGS release, you received compliments of Raphael, one of these cigars.
Now, has that cigar shipped out yet, Coop?
Not yet.
Okay, so just so you know, we do have some of those Monte. It was the last release. It was delayed. The boxes have come in, shipped out to everybody. We do still have some of those left, and Raphael was nice enough to give us a stick for every one of those. So if you haven't got it, and you'd still like to get a box of the special Monte Cristo that Raphael created for the Great Smoke, you will get a free one of those sticks.
It's available on the site. Just search Monte Cristo TGS, and it'll come up, and you will still be able to be one of the first ones to get one of those new Monte Cristo Diamantes.
Oh, wow.
Along with that box.
Nice. Way to go with that. Yes, so that's great. That's a win-win for people on that. I wasn't sure if that was. I was going to ask. I wasn't sure if that was the cigar or not. That's why I was asking that, because it seemed like it was even for a Monte Cristo pretty highly priced. That's why. So and yeah, we saw the pictures. Raphael actually showed me these pictures down at the Pro Cigar, and I'm like, really really nice job they done it. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I haven't tried one yet because I want to make sure we have one for every box that gets sold. But it's something I'm definitely looking forward to trying.
Nice.
Anything else you got going on, Koopa?
One last thing. There was news out of Camacho this week. They have a new release coming out, the Camacho Factory Unleashed 3. So they've been doing this every year. They've been doing this more of a value price Camacho that features a shagged foot on these. They either come in 10-count bundles or these 100-count boxes. So the 100-count boxes, I think, more for brick and mortar. The bundles, I guess, are more for e-commerce. This year's the Factory Unleashed 3 is going to be a Mexican San Andreas Maduro version of that. One size 6x50 Toro. So they've been doing this every year. It's a one and done release. They do.
These are one and done.
Yeah,
I was going to say, like, how many 100-count boxes can a retailer have on their damn shelf?
Exactly. They're one and done. So like that, the previous two were the same boat with that.
One of my epic times of being wrong. Literally, the first time I saw the Edge box, I literally said, "Who the fuck is going to put this on their shelves? This is so absurd." When Rocky first came out with the Edge, and I saw it at the trade show, I'm like, "You want me to order two of these and put them on my shelf, like 4 feet of space? This is crazy." Yeah, what the hell did I know?
Yeah, so I think
epic wrong moment by Abe.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in a value range, I guess, getting that size of a box.
We had just never seen that, though. When Rocky did it with the Edge, it was the first time I had seen it. I don't remember seeing it before that. So, kudos to Rocky being ahead of the curve.
Yep.
Anything else you got going on, Cooper?
That's it this week.
All right. I like that Rocky created his own shelf tree for the Edge 100. Oh, Alan, always so good with your comments. All right. That being said, I don't know what week it was. Let me see. Is it season? Well, forget the week.
Season 6, number 6.
Season 6, number 6. It's time for Tale of the Tape. Now, before we start, I just want to say kudos to Nick Fatino. Made a post early this morning.
He got you.
Bro,
He got everybody.
Hold on.
He got everybody.
It was early.
It was early.
I was tired. I knew that picture was fake, but I figured maybe he didn't capture the moment. It's not like you got a camera ready when you propose. And then everybody was saying congratulations. And I even said, do I know this person? Whatever. And then we're driving here. My son was in the car. He goes, Dad, it's April Fool's today. I'm like, that cocksucker. I told Nick right away.
Nick, well done. He
Good
got
job,
a
Nick.
lot of people.
Got us all early in the morning. Very well done, sir. All right. Season 6, Tale of the Tape. Take the floor, Mr. Tabella.
All right. So season 6, Tale of the Tape, we are going through the top heartthrobs. Everyone kind of has their own criteria. Let's start with Abe, who's
It wasn't me. It was Alex.
So well, while we're here, I guess we should start with this first heartthrob, our friend Wes. Who is heartthrobbing Alan Rubin.
This is so priceless, man. Oh my God. His phone's got to be blowing up.
Oh yeah. So Abe, we've kind of gone, you and Coop kind of gone down your own personal road of heartthrob. So let's kick it off with you.
So look, when we first did this, I really had a hard time. So I just started a list of people, and I couldn't even number them. So like literally right before the week, I just look and say, all right, she's next. And something about this chick drives me nuts. And before she was Wonder Woman, is Gal Gadot. She is hot.
Great.
Look at that, man. This girl is stunning. I love her. Just the whole thing, the accent, the whole thing. She does it for me. Definitely a heartthrob, in my opinion. Prior to even Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot, very good.
I never thought anyone could top Linda Carter, but you're right.
Oh God, yeah, she does. Linda was great in her heyday, but
yeah.
You know what? She's hot in a way that I think you could say I could run into this girl, because you see those hot girls like I'm never running into somebody like but it makes you feel like you could run into a Gal Gadot.
All right, so for my pick number 6, again, I'm going down the hip hop and R&B genre. I chose Ashanti for number 6. Ashanti was kind of the queen of the hip hop sing along era, probably most prominently done in a video she did, which kind of reenacted Grease in one of her songs. So Ashanti, she really had like that hometown kind of girl vibe. Do we bother with Paul? I mean, here.
Why not?
Who is this?
I think it's Megura or something from Hercules.
Oh my gosh.
Got a big nose.
You know what's funny is he's actually enjoying doing this.
Oh, well, wait. Ready? Okay, so he sends it to me. Right, I'm gonna read this. Sends me the picture. I say, okay, I don't hate it. His response, Paul's response. She looks like she'd be wild. Might smack you around a little.
Oh my gosh.
My only response was, "You're a sick person."
He is a sick person.
Yeah,
oh
absolutely.
my gosh. Oh my gosh, Paul.
Oh God. All right, Coop, what do you got?
All right, we have our first repeat heartthrob
Yes.
to appear on both lists, and Abe had this one last week. I have her this week, Megan Fox.
Yeah. Look at that.
Listen, sultry, hot mom. It's. I mean, I've been doing a lot from the earlier days of my life, but this is like from my dirty old man phase. I'll just say.
Yeah.
You just can't go wrong with this. Look at her.
Yep.
You know, she's been in the news this week because I guess there's a couple of people on TikTok who are like doppelgangers of her that have been showing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that this week. So that's been coming up a lot. Yeah. that is.
This could be the funniest show I've had in years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Those pictures to the
All right, this is good.
Wow.
Actually, Megan Fox might be qualified now these days.
Listen, keep those pictures coming to Alan Rubin, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Once
Absolutely.
again,
I wasn't now. Keep those pictures coming to him.
Well,
send your best photos to Alan Rubin and send me a screenshot.
I was going to say, in his defense, right? I mean, Alex did create this, but what people are forgetting is Alex is getting a picture for everyone that's getting sent.
Right. I'm getting.
Alex is taking a little bit of team here.
I am thoroughly enjoying this.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is tail of the tape. Our pick 6. We don't have a leaderboard, do we?
No, we don't have a leaderboard.
All right, we'll get one next week. That is tail of the tape, season 6, number 6. We're down to the last 5, right?
Yeah.
Next we're going to the top 5.
Man, I got to start looking at my list, figuring out who's really going to make the top 5. Whew. All right. In traditional fashion, wait to hear my question. It was like the perfect episode for this question.
Oh my god!
But is Vince Minetti still on? I'm gonna like to hear his response to this week's.
I don't know.
Would you rather? But in epic fashion, our closing. It's time to sponsored by the fine folks over at Gurkha Cigars to find out. Would you rather? All right. I have one would you rather question for both of you gentlemen, and to all our fans out there, feel free to respond. Question is pretty much, well, I guess it could be for men or women, actually, technically. I'm pretty sure Vince Minetti still on his question. His answer would be probably he'd like to do both. But would you rather have a colonoscopy or a Brazilian wax? The silence is perfect. Alex is probably too young to even have experienced a colonoscopy at this point.
Not yet, but I'm gonna have to go with the colonoscopy. At least there's like medical reason for it. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like at least I can justify it that way. I don't see any.
Now I'm sure some smart people will say, you know, it depends who's giving the Brazilian wax, but I will tell you this: it's irrelevant.
I agree.
If you've ever been waxed anywhere on your body, mean, look, it's some painful shit.
Look, have you ever
Tom Pauser.
I mean, have you ever had to like every once in a while I get an eyebrow hair that kind of grows a little weird and I got to pull a tweezer and like pull it out, and it is like the most excruciating like head ringing thing. Like I just feel it through my body. I don't know that I can like go for this whole wax where like it all comes out at once with the rip.
When I was in my 20s, someone convinced me to go get my back waxed. I'm telling you the truth. I went into, I used to get manis, so I used to get manicures. So the Asian woman went and took me into a room and started waxing my back. And on the first strip, I screamed like a child. I was like, what the fuck was that? And these are people all hearing me and stuff like that. Probably by the third pull, I just got up and said, oh, I walked around. I had probably these patches missing from my back for months until the rest of it grew in. So, yeah, I don't know how women do it. You know, I see my wife waxing our girls all the time, whatever. It is, and the colonoscopy ain't no fun. I remember my first one. I didn't even know what was happening. I was having some kind of illness. I went to the ER. Female doctor comes in, tells me to roll on my side, doesn't tell me what's going on. And next thing I know, she gave me a colonoscopy. I was like, what? I mean, without warning. Without warning.
Justify this with some medical purpose. Coop, you didn't give us an answer, by the way.
I am
Coop's still thinking.
No, I'm with the colonoscopy. Look, I've been through a colonoscopy already. It's not painful because you just don't remember any of it. I mean,
hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'm not talking about the ones where you put you to sleep. All right, I'm talking about the ones where you're wide awake and the doctor shoves his fucking finger up your ass and starts feeling your colon out. It is a memorable experience.
I assumed, okay.
No, not the medical one where you go in and you check it. It is like, you know, you're walking in the doctor's office. He starts slapping on the big glove in front of you.
That's a prostate exam.
And if you got that big Italian doctor with mammoth hands, you already start crying a little bit inside. No.
Oh, that changes my answer. I'm going with the Brazilian.
Yeah, prostate exam. I'm sorry, Michael. Prostate exam.
Yeah.
I think that's called the colonoscopy too, but prostate exam. That's fine.
Oh, prostate is just a basic prostate exam. They're not going in your colon. I'm back again. That's not that bad. I'll do that over a Brazilian.
All right. Excuse my terminology. I am sorry, folks.
Okay.
Prostate exam.
Okay, I'll go with the prostate. There's still some medical benefit
to
it.
I've gone through. Yeah, I've gone through it. It's quick compared to the Brazilian, which is.
But you come out much nice and cleaner looking with a Brazilian.
I don't. For who?
For who? Yeah, what do I need for?
Yeah. I mean, what can I do? What, easier wiping? I mean, what can I justify this?
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. The best way to start your Saturday. We hope you enjoyed another episode of this week of KMA Talk Radio. We'll be back next week. Join us on Facebook, please. Join our Smoking Social Facebook group.
God.
And keep a lookout for, I'm sure, updates by Alex Davella for the Alan Rubin. We got to come to a title for this thing.
Once again, folks, I just want to announce this again. We are running a special. We're going to do a promotion. This is a raffle. Send your best Mardi Gras photo to Alan Rubin and then send me a screenshot, and we are going to play them on air, and a couple people will win some cool prizes.
And there you have it, folks. Until next week, everybody, keep it lit.
I wasn't ready.
I already hit the...